"Mommy, can we stay?" Her daughter wrapped her arms around Serafina Sinclair's neck, her eyes brimming with tears. "Daddy gave me a rainbow music box today. I called him Daddy, and he didn't even get angry. I think he's starting to like me. I love Daddy so much, I don't want to leave him." Serafina looked into her daughter Maddie's expectant eyes, her heart aching. She couldn't bring herself to tell the child the truth. Ethan Sterling didn't love his daughter, he didn't love his wife, and he didn't love this home. 5 years ago, Ethan was set to be engaged to his first love, Fiona Lockwood, but Fiona had been unfaithful. On the day of the wedding, she abandoned him at the altar to run off with her lover. Even when Ethan threatened to take his own life, she never looked back. In a fit of pique and desperation to save face, Ethan had picked Serafina out of the guests to be his bride. Throughout their 5-year marriage, they had slept in separate rooms. The only exception was one night when Ethan came home drunk, and they had a moment of passion that resulted in Serafina's pregnancy. Ethan's mother, Alina Sterling, had forced Serafina to cancel her scheduled abortion, saving the child's life. But this act only deepened Ethan's resentment toward Serafina, a hatred that extended to their daughter. After Maddie was born, she spent 2 weeks in the ICU. Ethan never visited her once. He never held her. He had even stood by coldly when she was a baby, watching her nearly choke on milk without lifting a finger. As a biological father, he was colder than a total stranger. Tonight, however, was different. Fiona Lockwood had divorced and returned to the country. Ethan, who usually ignored Maddie, had suddenly picked her up, kissed her, and gifted her a rainbow music box. "Mommy, listen, the song in the music box Daddy gave me is Dear Baby." Maddie danced along to the music, her little face flushed with excitement. "Daddy gave me my favorite song. He must love me now, right?" Before Serafina could answer, the little girl ran over with a framed family photo, trying to prove her point. "Look, Mommy, Daddy even took a 1-year-old portrait with me. He has to love me, right? Look how happy he's smiling in the photo." When Serafina remained silent, the light in Maddie's eyes slowly dimmed. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Mommy, Daddy is just tired from doing so many surgeries every day, right? That's why he doesn't smile at me or hold me. It's not because he hates me, is it? Please, can we stay? If I can't see Daddy, I won't be able to sleep." Serafina's lips trembled, but the words wouldn't come. How could she tell her that Maddie only received that music box because Ethan was celebrating Fiona's divorce? How could she admit that the 1-year-old family portrait was actually photoshopped? That it was a lie she created just to maintain a facade of a happy home? Or that Ethan had once signed a document authorizing doctors to stop life-saving treatment when Maddie was in critical condition? She couldn't utter a single one of those cruel truths. She suppressed the pain in her chest and whispered, "Maddie, Mommy is taking you away from Mr. Sterling. We're going somewhere better." "I hate calling him Mr. Sterling." Maddie wiped her eyes, her voice shaking. "I'm the only one in my whole class who has to call her own father sir or uncle." Serafina froze. In 5 years of marriage, her devotion had never moved Ethan. He had insisted on a secret marriage. He refused to let Maddie call him Daddy, forcing her to address him formally like an outsider. When Maddie was 2, Serafina had taken her to the hospital for a checkup. They ran into Ethan in the elevator as he was leading a team of doctors for a consultation. Maddie had accidentally let a daddy slip out. That night, Ethan had locked the child in a dark room as punishment, completely ignoring the fact that Maddie had night blindness and was terrified of the dark. The trauma caused the child to fall into a high fever and a coma that lasted for 3 days. On Maddie's 3rd birthday, Serafina had begged Ethan to attend the party. Again, because the child reflexively called him Daddy, Ethan had abandoned her in a crowded public park and driven away. By the time Serafina found her, Maddie had been snatched by human traffickers. They had already shaved her hair and changed her clothes. If Serafina had been 5 minutes later, Maddie would have been gone forever. When Maddie had collapsed into her mother's arms that day, she had still reached out for Ethan's sleeve, whispering, "I'm sorry, sir. I was wrong." From that day on, the girl learned to call him sir, and she stopped smiling. Recalling this, Serafina felt a sharp pang in her heart. She pulled her daughter close. "Maddie, Mr. Sterling doesn't want us living here anymore. Please be a good girl." Maddie wept, clutching her music box. "But Mommy, he gave me this tonight. If he doesn't like me, why would he give me a gift?" Maddie, try to understand. Another lady is going to move in here soon. Maddie hugged her neck, her tears soaking Serafina's shoulder. But I really want Daddy to love me. Can I give him 3 more chances? If he still hates us after that, then we can leave him forever. All right, Serafina conceded through her own tears. Ethan Sterling, my daughter and I will give you 3 more chances. After that, if you still fail us, we will cut you out of our lives forever. The next day was Serafina's wedding anniversary. She had already drafted the divorce papers and booked flight tickets to leave the city the day after tomorrow. That afternoon, she went to the preschool to pick up Maddie. Passing through the Central Plaza, she accidentally saw Ethan. He was down on one knee, proposing to his first love, Fiona Lockwood. A crowd had gathered, whispering in admiration. Dr. Sterling loves Fiona so much. He just spent over $2 million on that engagement ring. Of course. Back in college, he purposely left the last 2 physics questions blank just so he could get into the same university as her. Even after she cheated and ran away, he waited all these years. He's obsessed. They look like such a power couple. I can't wait to see their kids. They'll be beautiful. Serafina looked down at the wedding band on her left hand and smiled bitterly. Her ring was one Ethan had originally bought for Fiona. It was a size too large, and he had never once offered to replace it. Now he was spending millions on a diamond for Fiona. She had been too confident. She thought that by being a dutiful daughter-in-law and a gourmet cook, she could earn a shred of his affection. She thought Maddie's innocence could melt his heart, but reality had crushed her hopes. Ethan treated their home like a hotel, frequently dumping the nutritious meals she spent hours preparing into the trash. He ignored the longing in his daughter's eyes, coldly warning her never to get too close. He never loved the child, he never loved her. Serafina had simply been clinging to a childhood crush, refusing to wake up. Mommy, that man proposing to the lady looks like Daddy, Maddie's surprised voice snapped Serafina back to reality. She quickly picked up her daughter to leave, but Fiona blocked their path. Fiona scrutinized Serafina, her tone hesitant. Ethan, you told me you only got married back then to spite me and that it wasn't a real marriage. But why does this little girl look so much like you? Is she your? Ethan looked at Maddie. For a fleeting second, he felt a strange, inexplicable pang of guilt seeing the hurt in the child's eyes. But then, he pulled Fiona closer and walked past Serafina as if he didn't even recognize his own daughter. I don't know this child. It's just a coincidence. On the way home, Maddie buried her face in Serafina's chest and sobbed. Sir likes that lady, doesn't he? He wants her to live in our house. Serafina nodded weakly. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw a white Porsche drive by. Inside, Ethan was tenderly putting a necklace on Fiona. Her husband was doting on another woman, and she was powerless to stop it. Don't be sad, Mommy. You still have me, Maddie choked out. I'll love you forever. Serafina's eyes grew wet. I'm okay, sweetheart. Don't worry. Back at home, Maddie locked herself in her room. Serafina could hear her daughter's muffled cries, and it felt like her heart was being shredded. After a long time, the door finally opened. Maddie was coughing violently. She handed Serafina the 1-year-old family portrait, her voice weak. Mommy, I want to take this with me when we go. Serafina looked at the photo. Maddie had used a pair of scissors to cut Ethan out of the picture. Only Serafina and Maddie remained. Serafina knelt down and wiped the tears from the girl's face. Maddie, Mommy will take so many more photos with you. I promise you'll never have to cry again. Maddie slumped against her mother's shoulder. Mommy, my heart hurts. Is it broken? Serafina could hardly breathe through the pain. Your heart isn't broken, baby. Mommy is going to fix it. Ethan Sterling, that was the first chance. You have 2 left. When the clock struck midnight, Ethan still hadn't returned. Just like every other anniversary, Serafina sat alone at a table full of food, waiting from dusk until dawn. In the past, she would have called him incessantly, begging him to come home. Now, she refused to humiliate herself. Ethan had never cared about this marriage, her, or their daughter. Serafina picked up a piece of sweet and sour pork, only to find it tasted bitter and unswallowable. It was just like her marriage, 5 years of nothing but heartache. She dumped the food into the trash and began packing. She deleted every photo of Ethan from her phone and shredded their wedding pictures. She went into the garden and uprooted every sunflower she had planted for him. Exhausted, she went upstairs to check on Maddie. The girl was flushed with a high fever, and there were traces of blood at the corner of her mouth from coughing so hard. Panicked, Serafina rushed Maddie to the emergency room at Sterling Memorial. While they were waiting for the attending physician, a familiar voice echoed from the hallway. "Is Dr. Miller in room 3 today?" "Mommy, I think it's sir." Maddie's dull eyes suddenly lit up. Despite her coughing, she looked hopeful. "Did he find out I'm sick? Did he come to see me?" "I'm glad I'm still wearing my school uniform. He said I looked cute in it yesterday." Serafina doubted it, but a small part of her hoped he had a shred of conscience left. Ethan's mother had been calling lately, nagging him to care more about the child. Serafina turned around and locked eyes with Ethan. He was carrying a little girl in his arms. Fiona Lockwood followed behind them, looking concerned. "Ethan," Lola only coughed once. "Don't make such a big deal out of it," Fiona said softly. "Dr. Miller is busy. He should see the critical patients first." "Fiona, a cough is never a small thing for a child," Ethan said, his voice laced with anxiety. "If it turns into pneumonia, it could be life-threatening." The light in Maddie's eyes died instantly. She curled into a ball, coughing even harder. Serafina's heart bled as she rubbed her daughter's back. "Dr. Miller, my daughter has a high fever and is coughing up blood. Can you please see her first? I'm afraid it's pneumonia." Dr. Miller looked conflicted, standing still. Serafina looked at Ethan, her voice pleading. "Dr. Sterling, please, my daughter is very ill. She needs an exam immediately." Ethan's gaze flickered to the blood on Maddie's lips. He frowned for a second, but then his expression hardened. "Dr. Miller, examine Lola first." Serafina stared at Ethan in disbelief. A coldness washed over her, freezing her blood. He was so blatant in his favoritism for Fiona's daughter, completely disregarding Maddie's suffering. It was chilling. Disappointed and heartbroken, Serafina picked up Maddie and left, taking a taxi to a different hospital. When the nurse inserted the IV needle, Maddie, who usually screamed at the sight of needles, gritted her teeth. "Mommy, I didn't cry today. If Sir finds out I was brave, do you think he'll come see me?" Serafina's throat felt tight. "Maddie, you're so strong and brave. You deserve to be loved by someone much better than him." "But I want him to like me," Maddie whispered, looking down. "I still don't know what it feels like to be held by him." Serafina clenched her fists. "Ethan Sterling, that was the second chance. You have one left." After emergency treatment, Maddie's fever finally stabilized. Serafina tried to feed her some porridge, but the child had no appetite. Suddenly, Maddie remembered something. She forced herself to swallow a few spoonfuls. "Mommy, tomorrow is the June 1st festival. I'm the lead dancer for the Little Swans performance. Can you call Sir? Ask him if he'll come to watch me." Serafina's hand paused. "You really want him there?" "Yes," Maddie said, her eyes hollow. "This is my first time performing on stage. It's also the last time I'll ask him to come. I want him to remember me shining. I don't want him to forget me." When Serafina didn't respond, Maddie shook her head sadly, tears falling. "Forget it. I shouldn't ask for too much." "Maddie, that's not too much to ask," Serafina whispered. She pulled out her phone and sent Ethan a message. "Maddie has a performance tomorrow for the festival. Will you come?" As usual, there was no immediate reply. Maddie stared at Serafina's phone screen. Every time a notification chimed, she jumped, only to look away in disappointment when it wasn't him. By dawn, Maddie asked, "Sir isn't coming, is he?" She coughed again, trying to sound casual. "He's too busy. He has so many surgeries. I understand. I'm not mad." Serafina's heart was heavy. She didn't know how to comfort her. Last night, Ethan had been so cruel at the hospital. Her daughter's heart was bleeding, yet she was still making excuses for him. It was agonizing to watch. "Mommy, don't be sad. As long as you're there, I'll be happy," Maddie hugged her. "I have you, and that's enough." Serafina kissed her forehead. "Good luck, baby. Mommy can't wait to see you dance." Encouraged, Maddie forced herself to eat a bowl of porridge and some cherries. Serafina stayed by her side as the IV dripped, watching the dance practice videos their teacher had sent. Suddenly, Serafina's phone lit up. It was a message from Ethan. "Fine." Serafina gasped and showed the phone to Maddie. "Maddie, he said yes, he's coming to see you." "Really?" Maddie kissed the phone screen repeatedly, her pale face finally showing a smile. "This is the first time he's ever coming to see me perform. I have to be perfect. Mommy, help me put on my tutu, I need to practice." In 5 years, this was the first time Ethan had agreed to attend a school event for the child. While Serafina was happy for Maddie, she was also worried. What if he had sent the message by mistake? But seeing her daughter so joyful, she couldn't bring herself to say anything. She helped Maddie into her costume. The message gave Maddie a surge of energy. She practiced in the hospital room for 3 straight hours. During a break, Maddie pulled treasures out of her backpack to show Serafina, chirping like a happy bird. "Mommy, look, I made this clay lion in art class. I heard Sir likes lions. If I give this to him, he'll be happy, right? And Mommy, I got 16 awards this semester. I'm the top student in the grade. The principal gave me a box of Ferrero Rocher chocolates. I'm saving them for us to eat with Sir tomorrow." "I see, honey. You're amazing," Serafina replied. She prayed Ethan wouldn't break his promise. She wanted her daughter to have one happy, unforgettable memory before they left, even if it felt like a pipe dream. Serafina and Maddie were discharged from the hospital and went straight to the supermarket to buy ribbons and snacks for the festival. While Serafina was picking out snacks, Maddie ran over, her eyes wide. "Mommy, I saw Daddy in the toy section. He's looking at Elsa dolls. He must be buying my children's day present." Serafina looked where Maddie was pointing. She saw Ethan looking at an Elsa princess gift set, a rare, gentle smile on his face. But a moment later, Lola Lockwood ran out from behind a shelf and hugged his leg, chirping. Daddy Ethan, Fiona Lockwood followed behind them, holding some yogurt. Serafina quickly put headphones on Maddie to block out the sounds and turned her away. "You'll get your gift, sweetheart. It's late, let's go home." That night, Ethan didn't come home again. Maddie was so excited she woke up before dawn. She carefully packed her rainbow music box and asked Serafina to put her hair in a bun with a little crown. She had even drawn a family portrait to give to Ethan as a keepsake. At the school gates, Serafina and Maddie waited for a long time, but Ethan never showed. Instead, they saw Fiona and Lola arrive in high style. Lola was wearing a sparkling, custom-made Elsa gown. She bragged to the other kids, "My daddy Ethan had this custom made for me. It cost over $15,000. He knows I love Elsa, so he bought me 100 different dresses." "Mommy, I remember now. Lola is the new girl in my class," Maddie said softly, her face falling. "Sir pampers her so much, I'm so jealous." Serafina suppressed the bitterness in her heart. 2 girls the same age, both loving the same character. One was treated like a princess. The other was a secret Ethan refused to acknowledge, a girl who had never received a single holiday gift from him. Sensing her mother's mood, Maddie whispered, "Sir is busy again, isn't he? He's not coming." Serafina decided to keep the lie going for just a bit longer. She pulled out a doll she had bought earlier. "Sir couldn't make it, but he sent this gift for you." Maddie's face brightened instantly. She held the doll high. "Look, my daddy loves me too. He sent me an Elsa doll." The other children gathered around, murmuring. Lola Lockwood walked over, hands on her hips. "What a loser. You're bragging about one cheap doll. My room is overflowing with them." Serafina tried to lead Maddie away to avoid a fight, but Lola suddenly lunged forward. She snatched something from Maddie's open backpack. "Aha, I knew it. You stole my rainbow music box. Give it back." Lola pushed Maddie hard. Maddie fell onto the grass, and the music box hit the ground, getting covered in dirt. Serafina rushed over to pick her up. Maddie's cheek had been sliced open by a stray branch. It was bleeding badly. Fiona Lockwood walked over, looking righteous. "Serafina, your daughter is a thief. If she got hurt, she has no one to blame but herself. Tell her to give the music box back to Lola now, or I'll post this in the class group chat. You don't want to be humiliated, do you?" "I won't give it back." Maddie clutched the music box to her chest, sobbing. "I'm not a thief." Seeing her daughter bleeding, Serafina's temper flared. "Miss Lockwood, this music box was a gift from her father. If you accuse her again, I won't be so polite." "What's going on?" a deep voice asked. Serafina looked up. It was Ethan Sterling. "Ethan, this girl stole Lola's music box." Fiona frowned. "You should help me transfer Lola to another school. I don't want these kinds of children influencing her." "Dr. Sterling, my daughter didn't steal anything. I have proof." Serafina looked at Ethan, hoping for a word of defense, but Ethan avoided her gaze. He looked at Lola with concern. "Lola, are you hurt?" "Daddy Ethan, look." Lola pointed at Maddie. "She stole the Becca music box you gave me. Call the police and have her arrested. Bad girls like her shouldn't be allowed to be the lead dancer." Ethan cupped Lola's face, checking her over. "Does your leg hurt? Did you scratch your hands?" I'm fine, Lola sneered at Maddie. But the thief cut her face. She's an ugly monster now. That's karma. Maddie's eyes were full of tears. Sir, my daddy gave me this music box. I'm not a thief. The surrounding parents began to gossip. That Becca music box Lola has is a designer brand. They start at $1,000. Of course, a kid like Maddie would be jealous. She must have stolen it. Maddie keeps saying her daddy gave it to her, but we've never seen her father here. She's obviously lying. Maddie is always sick and missing class. Her mom probably spends all their money on medical bills. They're probably broke. A music box like that could be sold for a lot of money secondhand. Serafina lowered her head. She had a husband, yet she lived like a single mother, and now her child was being branded a thief. It was a cruel joke. I have a daddy, Maddie shouted, her voice trembling. He's a famous surgeon abroad. He's the best. He mailed this to me. Fiona rolled her eyes. Kid, lying is a bad habit. That rainbow music box is identical to my daughter's. It's a Becca limited edition. I know what it looks like. Ethan glanced at Maddie, who looked disheveled and hurt. A flicker of something like pain crossed his face, but he quickly suppressed it. It's just a music box. If it's lost, it's lost. We have plenty more at home. Let's go. Maddie went pale. She looked like she was about to collapse. Serafina held her daughter tight and held out her phone to Fiona. Miss Lockwood, I received a package from France 2 days ago. Here is the tracking number. Check it yourself if you don't believe me. My husband mailed this to her. Fiona didn't take the phone. Instead, she looked at Ethan. Ethan, I keep thinking this girl looks a bit like you. You're sure you don't know her? I don't, Ethan said firmly. Lola's mom, is this your daughter's? The principal ran over, out of breath. Miss Thorne found this in the dance studio 2 days ago. I posted a lost and found notice in all the parent groups. Did you not see it? Fiona looked embarrassed. She took the music box from the principal and quickly led Lola away without a single word of apology to Serafina or Maddie. Ethan followed them, casting a warning glance back at Serafina. He didn't need to warn her. Serafina was going to keep her mouth shut, because Ethan Sterling had just lost his third and final chance. Once the performance was over, she and Maddie would vanish from his world forever. Miss Sinclair, I apologize on Lola's behalf, the principal said with a sigh. Take the child to the nurse to get that cut cleaned up. The show is about to start. Principal, can I still be the lead dancer? Maddie asked anxiously. I want Mommy to film it for me. Of course, the principal smiled. You're the most talented dancer in the school. Serafina took Maddie to the infirmary. Suddenly, Maddie looked at the door, her face lighting up. Dad, sir, you're here. Serafina looked at Ethan as he entered the room, her voice cold. What are you doing here? Ethan didn't speak. He signaled his assistant, Lewis, who handed him a box. Maddie, I bought you a new music box. See if you like it. Maddie rubbed her eyes. Mommy, I think I'm dreaming. Sir is giving me a gift. It's not a dream, Serafina said, opening the box for her. Play a song. Maddie began to move her arms to the piano melody, her eyes misting over. Thank you, sir. I'll take good care of it. Ethan watched her, feeling a strange tightness in his chest. He hesitated for a few seconds before speaking. Maddie, Lola really wanted to be the lead dancer. Since your face is injured, it might not be suitable for you to lead today. Why don't you let her take the spot? The smile on Serafina's face vanished. Maddie's eyes turned red instantly. He wasn't here because he was worried about her injury. He was here to make a deal for Fiona's daughter. It was a sobering, disgusting realization. Okay, sir, Maddie said, her voice hollow. She stroked the white tassel on the new music box, coughing harshly. Ethan frowned at the sound, but before he could say anything, his phone rang. It was Fiona. Ethan, Lola has a nosebleed, come quickly. Ethan's expression shifted to panic. He turned to leave, but Serafina called out, I mailed you something. Make sure you open it tomorrow morning. Stop buying me things, Serafina, Ethan interrupted impatiently. I don't need anything from you. Serafina looked down, hiding the coldness in her eyes. It wasn't a gift she had mailed him. It was the signed divorce papers. Serafina and Maddie returned to the auditorium. Maddie was led backstage to prepare. Lola was at the front of the line, waving happily at Ethan and Fiona in the audience. Thank you, Daddy Ethan, for making my dream come true. Serafina saw Maddie at the back of the line. She looked frail, her steps unsteady. Serafina's heart ached. She stood up and waved. Go, Maddie, you're the best. Maddie's eyes found her mother's, and she gave a bright, beautiful smile. The show began. Serafina looked at the program and saw that The Little Swans was the final act. She waited an hour. Finally, it was time. Serafina raised her phone to film, but as the dancers came out, Maddie wasn't there. Her daughter was gone. Panic set in. Serafina rushed to the principal. Miss Sinclair, I was just about to tell you, we just realized Maddie is missing. Security is checking the cameras now. Where would she go? Think. She loves dancing, Serafina cried. Take me to the dance studio. The studio was empty. Serafina ran through every corner of the school, but there was no sign of her. Other parents joined the search, but after 2 hours, there was still nothing. 3 hours had passed. Serafina was drenched in cold sweat. Suddenly, she saw Lola sitting on a swing on the playground, playing with a white tassel. Serafina ran over. That's from Maddie's music box. Where did you get that? Did you see her? What are you doing? Fiona ran over, shielding a crying Lola. That's just a common decoration. You have no right to accuse my daughter. What's wrong, Fi? Ethan walked over, his expression darkening when he saw Serafina. Serafina is accusing Lola of hiding Maddie, Fiona said indignantly. She lost her own kid and now she's taking it out on us. It's ridiculous. Dr. Sterling, that tassel is from Maddie's music box, Serafina said urgently. Lola must have seen her before she disappeared. It's been 3 hours, every second counts. She could be in danger. Ethan looked at Lola and knelt down. Lola, tell me the truth. Did you see Maddie? No, Lola's eyes darted around. I found the tassel on the grass. You're lying, Serafina shouted. I reinforced that tassel myself. It wouldn't just fall off. Where is she? Look, my daughter said she found it, Fiona snapped. If you keep harassing her, I'm calling the principal. Serafina didn't have time for this. She called the police. When the officers arrived, Lola hid behind Ethan, trembling. Daddy Ethan, I'm scared, make them go away. Ethan looked at her, his voice stern. Lola, I'm asking you one last time. Did you see Madeline Sterling? I didn't, Lola cried. Kid, give us the tassel, Officer Lewis said seriously. This is a missing child case. We need to find her now. Lola threw the tassel at the officer as if it were burning her hand. Ethan started to lead them away, but then he paused. He looked at his assistant. Get everyone to help search for the child. Fiona and Lola looked shocked. Serafina didn't care. She followed the K-9 unit toward the backstage area of the classrooms. The police dog began barking furiously at a large equipment locker in the back of the dressing room. Maddie, Serafina pounded on the locked door. Are you in there? Speak to me. Someone get a crowbar, hurry. When the door was pried open, Serafina felt like she'd been struck by lightning. Maddie was curled in a tiny ball at the bottom of the locker, her face blue, her breathing faint. The back of the locker door was covered in scratches from her fingernails. Serafina scooped up her unconscious daughter and ran to the waiting ambulance. Maddie, hold on, we're going to the hospital. Suddenly, the ambulance door was held open. Ethan climbed in. I'm coming with you. Get out, Serafina hissed, her eyes full of loathing. I don't need your fake concern. Leave. Ethan was stunned by her sharp tone, but he ignored her. Driver, go in the cramped ambulance. They sat in silence. Sir? Maddie's eyes fluttered open. Ethan reached out and took her hand. Maddie, who locked you in there? Lola. Maddie's voice was barely a whisper. She saw the photo in my pencil case. She knows you're my daddy. She said if I stayed in the locker for 2 hours, she'd keep the secret. Sir, did I stay long enough? Serafina sobbed, unable to listen anymore. She pushed Ethan away. Do you feel guilty yet? This happened because you spoiled that girl until she thought she could get away with anything. Serafina, I apologize for Lola, Ethan said solemnly. She's young. She didn't mean any harm. She locked the door. How is that no harm? Serafina snapped. Ethan's phone rang. His face turned pale as he listened. Fi, don't leave. I'm coming right now. He looked at Maddie. Maddie, I'll come see you later. He barked at the driver. Stop the car, sir. Please don't go, Maddie whispered. Ethan hesitated for a split second, then opened the door. I have something urgent to do. Sir, Maddie called out, her voice clear for a moment. Goodbye. Ethan looked back at the child's red eyes, paused, then said, I'll be at the hospital later. The door slammed shut. Serafina held her daughter and wept. Maddie, don't cry. Mommy is here. I'll always love you. After emergency treatment, Maddie was out of danger. Serafina held her and cried as if she were holding the whole world. Maddie looked at the door. How much longer until Sir comes? Serafina's heart broke. She didn't want to tell her that Ethan wasn't coming. I'll call him again, he's on his way. She stepped out and dialed Ethan's number. Lola picked up. Who is this? Where is Ethan? Serafina asked. He's getting me a dipping bowl, Lola said proudly. I told him to go to the hospital, but he wouldn't. He insisted on taking me for hot pot to cheer me up after today. He's so sweet. Fiona's voice came over the line. Serafina, Ethan is terrified now that I know the truth about you too. He promised to divorce you tomorrow. You were just a substitute. Did you really think having his kid would make you his wife? He only ever loved me. Mommy, stop, Lola giggled. Sir, don't worry, I'll tell Daddy Ethan to visit her later. He does whatever I ask. Serafina listened to the bragging and the cruelty. Her daughter was fighting for her life, and he was out for hot pot. She was done. She immediately processed Maddie's discharge. Maddie didn't ask any questions. She just silently tore up her drawings and threw the clay lion into the trash. As they left, Serafina found the attending physician. If Dr. Sterling asks, tell him the child died of respiratory failure. The doctor was shocked. I can't lie about that. Please, Serafina said, handing him a card. I just want to live in peace. The doctor sighed and nodded. On the way to the airport, Serafina treated Maddie's wound. Neither of them mentioned Ethan. It was as if he had never existed. As they boarded the plane, Serafina sent Ethan one last text. Ethan Sterling, goodbye. A second later, her phone began to ring incessantly. Serafina didn't answer. She took out the SIM card and snapped it in half. At the hot pot restaurant, Ethan was busy cooking for Lola when he tried to call Serafina again. The number was disconnected. She had changed her number. Why? Was she that angry that he hadn't made it to the hospital yet? He thought of Maddie's pale face in the ambulance and felt a wave of unease. Lewis, call the hospital. See if Maddie is out of the ER. Assistant Lewis left and returned quickly, looking terrified. Dr. Sterling. Dr. Miller says Maddie died of respiratory failure. Miss. Sinclair already took her away. What? Ethan froze. That's impossible. She was breathing when I left. Dr. Miller said she was calling your name until the end. Miss Sinclair tried to call you? Ethan checked his phone. There were no missed calls from Serafina. Daddy Ethan, Lola whispered. A lady called earlier. I didn't know how to use the phone, and I think I accidentally deleted the call log. Is Maddie okay? She saw Ethan's expression and started to cry. I only locked her in there because I didn't want her to take you away from me. She's smarter than me, she dances better. Everyone likes her. I'm sorry, you aren't mad, are you? Fiona stepped in. Ethan, she's only 4. It was an accident. I'm not even mad that you were married to her anymore. Lola and I are staying. Ethan didn't answer. He ran to his car. He rushed to the hospital and found the doctor. Where is she? Take me to her. She's gone, Ethan, the doctor said, handing him the paperwork. Miss Sinclair signed the death certificate and took the body. Liar, she was fine, you're helping her hide, Ethan roared. Search the hospital, find them. 6 hours later, there was no sign of them. The unease in Ethan's heart grew into a void. Put out a city-wide search. Find Serafina Sinclair and her daughter, Dr. Sterling. The news of Maddie's disappearance at the school has leaked. People are attacking Miss Lockwood's daughter online. The hospital's stock is plummeting. People want Lola expelled. Contact my mother's PR firm. Leak some celebrity gossip to distract them. Don't let Lola get hurt. His phone rang. It was his mother, Eleanor Sterling. You fool, you're so obsessed with Fiona that you've ignored your own family. Look at the stock prices. Have you found Serafina? Where is Maddie? I'm looking, Ethan said, frowning. Serafina is just hiding. The kid is probably fine. Shut up, this is all because you spoiled Fiona's brat, Eleanor hissed. If you don't fix this, I'm cutting you off. Ethan hung up. He noticed something in the trash can in the hospital corridor. He tipped it over. It was a torn family drawing and a crushed clay lion. A sharp pain pierced his chest. Lewis, get the security footage from every street around the hospital. I need to know where she took her. That night, Ethan turned the city upside down, but Serafina and Maddie were nowhere to be found. He returned to the hospital, exhausted. Ethan, I made you some beef porridge, Fiona said softly, handing him a container. You need to eat. He didn't take it. Lola grabbed his sleeve. I'm sorry, Daddy Ethan. Please rest. I'm so worried about you. Ethan looked at the crying child and his heart softened slightly. I'll find Maddie. She has to be okay. Dr. Sterling, Mr. Harrison will be here in an hour for the meeting, Lewis informed him. Ethan fell asleep on the office sofa, only to be woken by a commotion outside. He walked out to find Lola screaming at a woman and a child. Daddy, Ethan loves my mommy. You're just a homewrecker. Get out or I'll call the police. What is wrong with this kid? The woman asked, outraged. She just threw watermelon juice all over my daughter. Apologize now. I'm the princess of the Sterling family. Why should I apologize to you? Lola sneered. Lola saw Ethan and ran to him. Daddy, Ethan, this lady and her kid are trying to take mommy's place. Kick them out. Ethan looked up. When he saw the girl covered in juice, his face changed. Mr. Harrison, I'm so sorry. I apologize for the child's behavior. Is this your daughter, Dr. Sterling? Mr. Harrison asked coldly. A friend's daughter, Ethan stammered. HMPH. We just got to your door, and this child assaulted my daughter and called me names. If this is how you run your personal life, I'm not interested in doing business with you. The deal is off. Mr. Harrison, wait. Lola held onto Ethan's leg. You said you only love mommy. Why do you care about them? I won't let you go. By the time Ethan shook her off, Mr. Harrison was gone. He looked down at Lola, his face dark. Get up. You're going to apologize? No, Lola screamed. You're being mean to me. For a stranger, I'm telling mommy. The child's screaming made Ethan's head throb. He suddenly thought of Maddie. She was always so quiet, always hiding behind the sofa, watching him with hopeful eyes. He had always ignored her. He had let Lola bully her. Fiona walked in. What happened, Ethan? Lola sobbed into her mother's arms. Daddy, Ethan was mean to me because of a stranger. Fiona glared at him. Ethan, you proposed to me. How could you do this? Ethan looked at Fiona's angry, hysterical face. For the first time, she didn't seem better than Serafina. Why was he suddenly thinking of Serafina? He didn't even like her. He pushed past them and chased after Mr. Harrison, offering a 30% discount to save the deal. He even bought Mr. Harrison's daughter a designer dress as an apology. As Mr. Harrison signed the papers, he said coldly, You've given up a lot of profit for that Lockwood girl. But based on what I saw today, I bet your daughter Maddie didn't get lost in that locker. I bet she was put there. I suggest you look into it. Ethan's heart skipped a beat. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. I will. Ethan returned to his office and heard Lola talking on the phone. I can fix Daddy Ethan with one piece of candy. He loves me. I locked Maddie in the locker, and he wasn't even that mad. Once I move into the Sterling mansion, I'll throw a party for you guys. Lola, make sure you keep saying the locker thing was an accident, Fiona's voice cautioned. Ethan thinks you're an angel. Don't ruin it. Ethan was disgusted. He pushed the door open. Fiona was wearing a low-cut dress. Ethan, I'm sorry for being jealous. Eat some steak I made. She tried to brush her leg against his. He recoiled. This manipulative woman was not the Fiona he remembered. She wasn't even half as pleasant as Serafina. Serafina, who always made him healthy meals and taught Maddie to be honest. He felt a wave of revulsion toward the two of them. He missed Maddie and Serafina. Maybe Serafina had cooled off and gone back to their house. I have to go, he said, avoiding Fiona's touch. Aren't you staying with us? She asked, her smile freezing. He didn't answer. He drove home. His stomach was cramping from stress. As he walked into the living room, he hallucinated Maddie running to him. Daddy, you worked so hard today. Let me massage your hands. Then he saw Serafina bringing him a bowl of pear soup. Ethan, your lips are dry. Drink this. Dinner is in 10 minutes. He reached out to take the bowl, but there was nothing there. Where were they? He suddenly realized how much he missed them. Ethan collapsed on the sofa, clutching his stomach. In his feverish state, he felt someone covering him with a blanket and rubbing his abdomen gently. He grabbed the hand and whispered, Serafina, I didn't forget about the hospital. But Fiona found out about us and tried to leave. I had to stop her first. Maddie, the hand pulled away. Sir, it's just me, Mrs. Higgins. Mrs. Sterling hasn't been back since she left with Maddie. Ethan snapped back to reality. It was just the housekeeper. The disappointment was crushing. He ignored his stomach pain and ran upstairs, searching every room. The closets were empty. The wedding photos were gone. Maddie's room was stripped of toys and clothes. Every gift Serafina had ever given him was gone. Mrs. Higgins, why is everything gone? This couldn't have happened in one day. She's been packing for days, sir, Mrs. Higgins said, trembling. She even uprooted the sunflowers in the garden. Ethan felt like he'd been struck by lightning. Those sunflowers. She had planted them 5 years ago, she had cherished them, and she just ripped them out? She had planned this for a long time. No, she loved him, she wouldn't just leave. He ran to the basement dance studio. Serafina stopped playing games. Bring Maddie out. Silence. Maddie, I'm sorry, I won't miss your shows anymore, you can call me Daddy, just come out. The only thing that greeted him was the smell of cedarwood. He walked into the studio and froze. The walls were covered in crayon. Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. Maddie had traced the word over and over again. The shaky, childish handwriting felt like a blade in his heart. She had loved him so much, and he had treated her like a burden. He had let Lola bully her. He had even tried to take away her lead dancing role. Yet, even at the end, she had been calling for him. The guilt was overwhelming. Louis, find them, I don't care what it takes. I want them back. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye. Maddie was now a 3rd grader at an international school in France. Serafina often felt dazed when she picked Maddie up from school. Her daughter had grown so much. Mommy, are you daydreaming again? Don't you recognize your favorite girl? Serafina snapped out of it and ruffled Maddie's hair. Of course I recognize you. You look just like me. Maddie's smile faltered. My old classmates used to say I looked more like my father. If you miss him, I can take you back to see him, Serafina offered. He was very sad when he thought you were gone. I already said goodbye, Maddie said quietly. Goodbye means never seeing each other again. The mood turned heavy. Serafina quickly changed the subject. It's my birthday today. No homework tonight, happy. Yay, Mommy is the best, Maddie kissed her cheek. Tonight, I'm going to light sparklers with Daddy Julian. You'll join us, right? I will, Serafina smiled. Maddie pulled a drawing out of her bag. Mommy, I wish Daddy Julian could be my real daddy. Can you make that happen? Serafina hesitated. Mommy, haven't you moved on from Mr. Sterling? Maddie asked. I can tell Daddy Julian loves you very much. But if you don't want to, I can wait. I said goodbye to him too, Serafina said firmly. I'll try to make your wish come true. Maddie's eyes sparkled. Great, let's go to the party. That night, Serafina watched the fireworks with Maddie and Julian Beaumont. Julian proposed and Serafina said yes. Maddie danced around them, joining their hands. I finally have a daddy who loves me. I'm so happy. It's an honor to be your daddy, Julian said. I'll take care of you both forever. The next day, Serafina and Maddie flew back to the city with Julian to meet his family. As they exited the airport, they ran right into Ethan Sterling. Ethan froze, staring at Maddie. Maddie, you're alive, Serafina's heart sank. She tried to lead Maddie away, but Ethan blocked them. He lunged forward and hugged Maddie. Maddie, it's been 4 years. You've grown so much. I've missed you every day. I've been waiting to explain why I didn't come to the hospital. But in my dreams, you always walked away. You were mad at me, weren't you? He was sobbing. I'm so sorry. I had things to do, and by the time I got there, you were gone. I've regretted it every second. Thank God you're alive. Tell me what you want. I'll give you anything. Maddie struggled to get away. Sir, please let me go. Ethan only hugged her tighter. I'm so sorry, Maddie. The day you were hurt at school, I shouldn't have let them call you a thief. I shouldn't have asked you to give up your role. It was all my fault. Give me a chance to fix it. I'll be a real father to you. Ethan Sterling, let go of my daughter. Serafina stepped forward and pulled Maddie away. The divorce papers I sent 4 years ago were clear. I have full custody. You have no right to touch her. I never signed those papers. Serafina, they're invalid. Ethan stared at her. You're my wife. Maddie is my daughter. Everyone in the city knows it. Everyone knows it. Serafina scoffed. You bought Fiona a $2 million ring and proposed to her. You treated her daughter like a princess. Now you want to claim us? It's a joke. That was then. This is now. Ethan's eyes were full of longing. Since you left, my life has been empty. I've been going crazy thinking about you. You're cooking. Maddie dancing around the house. We don't think about you, Serafina said coldly. She's my daughter. She has nothing to do with the Sterlings anymore. Serafina, Ethan cried. She has my blood. How can you say that? She always called you sir or uncle. Have you forgotten? Ethan choked up. She can call me daddy now. And you can call me Ethan. No thanks. 3 voices spoke at once. Serafina shielded her daughter and took Julian's hand. Julian, let's go. Serafina, what did you call him? Ethan staggered back. We're not even divorced. You're cheating on me with this man. Ethan, you were the one who cheated. That's a fact, Serafina said. I was just trying to get my pride back from Fiona. I didn't realize how much I needed you both until you were gone. It wasn't love, Ethan. It was a habit. Serafina looked at him. Let her go, or I'll call your mother and let her deal with you. Ethan thought of his mother, who was ill and couldn't handle the stress. He reluctantly let go of Maddie. Maddie, don't call anyone else Daddy. I'm your only father. Maddie ignored him completely. She smiled at Julian. Daddy Julian, let's go home. Ethan watched them leave, his heart breaking. Once, Maddie had desperately wanted to call him Daddy. He had threatened her until she stopped. Now, hearing her call another man Daddy was an agony. He clenched his fists. He wouldn't let Serafina marry anyone else, and he wouldn't let his daughter belong to another man. He would prove it wasn't just a habit. It was love. He would win them back. In the car, Serafina looked at a silent Maddie. Are you okay, honey? I'm fine, Mommy. Maddie looked out the window. Daddy Julian, can we go to the amusement park instead of the hotel? Of course, Julian said, ruffling her hair. You're my princess. We'll go anywhere you want. Maddie's mood shifted instantly. I heard this park has a rainbow Ferris wheel, and the food court has great hot dogs and bunny ice cream. I've wanted to go for so long. Serafina kissed her cheek. We're staying for a while this time. You can go every day if you want. Yay, Maddie cheered. The three of them spent the day on rides, eating ice cream and making traditional crafts. While Serafina was picking out a design for a silk fan, a woman's voice interrupted her. Serafina Sinclair, your daughter isn't dead? Serafina looked up. It was Fiona Lockwood. 4 years had not been kind to her. She looked haggard and exhausted. Lola stood beside her, looking sullen. You're a monster, Serafina. You faked her death just to make us look bad. Ethan has ignored us for 4 years. Because of you, I'm telling him the truth. Fiona pulled out her phone, but no one answered. She grabbed Serafina's arm. You're not going anywhere. Come with me to see Ethan and explain yourself. Serafina ignored her. But Fiona wouldn't let go, screaming at the top of her lungs for the other tourists to hear. Everyone look, Serafina Sinclair's daughter is alive. She framed my daughter as a murderer 4 years ago. She ruined Lola's life. Apologize. The crowd began to whisper. Wait, that's them. So she lied about the kid dying. That's pretty dark. But Lola did lock her in a gym locker for 3 hours. That's a fact. Who should be apologizing to whom? Fiona and her kid were Ethan's favorites until that happened. Serafina is playing the long game. Lola got expelled and now she's depressed, Fiona screamed. It's all your fault. Apologize and give us $5 million in compensation, or I'm not letting this go. What's going on? A cold, sharp voice cut through the noise. Ethan, Fiona cried, running to him. See? Maddie is alive. It was all a lie. My Lola is innocent. Fiona was certain. Ethan would take her side again. He would kick Serafina out once and for all. Ethan coldly brushed Fiona's hand away. What right do you have to ask for $5 million? Don't tell me you've forgotten what your daughter did to Maddie? Fiona was stunned. Lola was only 4. She didn't know better. It was an accident. It's not like it caused any real harm. Why are you being so mean to her? She's depressed. Serafina should pay. Respiratory failure and the ICU count as no real harm? Serafina said coldly. If she has to die for it to count as harm for you, then we have nothing to talk about. Maddie, let's go. Wait, Lola Lockwood stepped forward, coughing. She bowed deeply to Maddie. I'm sorry, Maddie. I forgot to open the locker door. I'll give you all my allowance if you just forgive me. Ethan's eyes were ice. Did you forget? Or did you do it on purpose? Lola flinched. I really forgot. Ethan, she's just a child, Fiona pleaded. She made a mistake. Give her another chance. A child? Ethan sneered. I heard Lola admit it myself. She did it on purpose. Fiona went pale. After a moment, she stammered, Ethan, she was young and confused. Please let it go. Maddie didn't want to hear it. She turned away. Mommy, let's go. Wait, Ethan blocked them. He pulled a drawing from his bag. Maddie, I taped the family picture back together. See? He signaled Lewis, who brought over a garment bag. I had a new Elsa dress custom made for your current height. Try it on. Maddie closed her eyes. Serafina was tired of this. Ethan, the misunderstanding with Fiona is over. Go be with them. This is meaningless. It's not, Ethan said. If I keep trying, Maddie will love me again. She has to, Ethan, Fiona screamed. Lola apologized. Why are you still doing this? You love me, give us a chance. Ethan ignored her. He grabbed Serafina's hand. Serafina, these 4 years have taught me that it's not a habit. I love you. I'm sorry for everything. I'll make it up to you both. But I don't love you anymore, Serafina said. Late love is like expired medicine. I don't need it. She pulled away and took Julian's arm. Julian, I like the rose wedding ring from DK. Then let's go try it on, Julian smiled. Ethan collapsed on the ground as they walked away. Being rejected by the one you love was a pain he had never known. It was driving him mad, but he wouldn't give up. He would find a way to get them back. Serafina and Maddie left the park. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw Lola crying in Fiona's arms, but the child was casting a look of pure malice at Maddie. She didn't look like a regretful little girl at all. Serafina felt a surge of worry. Lola was manipulative and dangerous. Over the next few days, Serafina's phone was flooded with texts from Ethan. Every single one was about Maddie. She blocked him and changed her number again. Ethan didn't stop. He sent beautiful music boxes to her hotel every day. He even sent tickets to a performance by the famous dancer, Adeline Thorne. Maddie didn't even look at them. Mommy, throw them away, I don't want them. Okay, Serafina said. Then she looked at her daughter. Maddie, there's a junior dance competition in 2 weeks. Do you want to enter? Yes, Maddie's eyes lit up. I'm still sad I didn't get to dance the little swan 4 years ago. Serafina took Maddie to see her old teacher, Adeline Thorne, who now ran a prestigious dance academy. Adeline was thrilled to see her. I was just looking for a star for the competition, Maddie. Have you been practicing? Every day, Maddie said. Dancing makes me forget the bad things. Serafina's heart went out to her. Mommy, I'm not that little girl who cries all night anymore. I'm grown up. I can handle it. Serafina wiped a tear away. You are very brave, sweetheart. Come, let me introduce you to the class, Adeline said. We have a very talented girl here. She's like a little angel. Maddie looked into the studio. Serafina followed her gaze. The little angel surrounded by the other kids was Lola Lockwood. She was handing out candy, smiling sweetly. Lola, give our new friend some candy, Adeline called out. Maddie, come introduce yourself. Maddie didn't move. Lola walked over calmly and held out a pink candy. Welcome to class 3. Maddie didn't take it. Miss Thorne, can I be in a different class? Is there a problem? Adeline asked. Then she froze. Wait. The girl from the news, the one who locked a child in a locker, that was Lola? Her face hardened. Lola, you've disappointed me. You are no longer welcome here. Tell your mother to pick you up. Miss Thorne, it was an accident, I didn't mean to, Lola sobbed. No other school will take me, please don't kick me out. Fiona arrived and begged, but Adeline wouldn't budge. Fiona turned to Serafina. Please, Serafina, say something. This is her last chance. That's your problem, Serafina said. Everyone has to pay for their actions, even Lola. If you kick me out, I'll jump. Lola climbed onto the windowsill, sobbing. They say if you're sorry, you're a good kid. I apologized. Why does everyone hate me? Why won't anyone accept me? Lola, come down, it's dangerous, Fiona screamed. Miss Thorne, please, this is the only thing keeping her going. Her depression is finally getting better. If she's expelled, she won't survive. Adeline hesitated. Fine, this is the last chance. Lola, she said yes, give me your hand. Fiona grabbed her daughter and sobbed. Adeline turned to Serafina. Miss Sinclair, that was an emergency. I had to. Can I move Maddie to another class? Serafina looked at Maddie. What do you want to do? If you don't want to stay, we'll find another place. It's okay, Mommy. She's just a stranger to me, Maddie said calmly. Serafina kept a close eye on the class, but nothing happened. When they left, Ethan was waiting at the gate. Maddie, I built a private dance studio for you at the hospital. Let me show you. Maddie ignored him and ran to Julian. Daddy Julian, I practiced the Little Swan today. It's my favorite. I'll dance it for you at home. I'd love that. But first, let's go pick out wedding rings for your mom. Julian swung her around and reached out for Serafina. Shall we, my lady? Serafina, don't. Ethan blocked her way, holding out a jewelry box. I hand-carved this rose ring for you. Try it on. Ethan, giving her a ring when I'm standing right here is cold, Fiona cried. You said you'd marry me. She was just a substitute. You said you didn't love her. I thought she was just a substitute, Ethan said, his voice thick with pain. But when she left, I realized she was like the air I breathe. I can't live without her. Fiona, you were just a ghost from my youth. Once I got my pride back, there was nothing left. Fiona was crushed. So I was just a tool for your pride. You never loved me. What about me? Lola sobbed. Don't you love me anymore? I never did, Ethan said coldly. If you ever hurt Maddie again, I'll make you regret it. He knelt before Serafina. Serafina, I love you. Please take the ring. I have a garden full of roses for you. I'll support your career. I'll make up for everything, please. But I don't love you, Serafina said. That love is long gone. She took Julian's arm. Julian, I want the DK ring. Let's go get it, Julian smiled. Ethan collapsed. It felt like his heart was being torn out. He lost consciousness, clutching the rose ring. Maddie, Serafina, I'll get you back. I will. The news that Ethan Sterling had been hospitalized with a liver tumor went viral. Serafina saw it every time she opened her phone. Do you want to see him? Julian asked. The surgery is risky. Fiona and Lola are already there. Serafina looked at Maddie. Do you want to go? Maddie shook her head and went back to her dance videos. I'm not going either, Serafina said, focusing on the rings. Maddie, I think ring number 9 is perfect for Julian. What do you think? It's nice, Maddie said. Serafina's phone rang. It was Eleanor Sterling. Serafina, Ethan won't go into surgery unless he sees you and Maddie. Please, just come for a minute. The surgery is dangerous. He might not make it. I saved Maddie's life once. Do this for me, Serafina sighed. Fine. I'll come, but this is the last time. Tell him to let us go. I will, Eleanor promised. Serafina and Maddie went to the hospital. The atmosphere outside the OR was suffocating. Eleanor looked frail. Fiona and Lola were crying. Lola's eyes flashed with jealousy, but she put on a sweet face. Maddie, you're here, go talk to Daddy Ethan. He's been waiting. Maddie, Ethan reached out weakly from his hospital bed. Come here. Maddie stood a yard away. Sir, what do you want to say? Come closer, Ethan whispered. I want a photo of the three of us. I couldn't find a single one at home. I regret it so much. Maddie was silent. I'm sorry, sir. I only want photos with Mommy. I don't take photos with strangers. Strangers? Ethan looked devastated. Maddie, I'm going into surgery. Just a little comfort. You used to love me. You used to massage my hands. You wrote Daddy all over the walls. Sir, I gave you 3 chances and you missed them all, Maddie said, her voice steady but sad. First, when I had pneumonia and you prioritized Lola. Second, when you tried to give my role to Lola. Third, when I was locked in that locker and you left me for them. Hearts don't turn cold in a day. You can't fix this now. It's over. She took Serafina's hand and walked away. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, Maddie. Serafina, Ethan's cries followed them, but they didn't look back. Hearing Maddie call Julian Daddy was like a knife to his soul. But then he looked determined. I don't care if it takes 20 years. I will win them back. I have to survive. Ethan wasn't seen for a few days until Maddie's birthday. Serafina and Maddie arrived at the party venue and were showered with flower petals. Maddie caught a gardenia and smiled at Julian. Thanks for the flowers, Daddy Julian. Maddie, I did that for you. Do you like it? Ethan stepped out from the crowd, holding a bouquet. Happy birthday, I have a gift. I don't want it, Maddie said, walking inside. Serafina followed. She saw Fiona talking to Ethan. Ethan, please, we were together for 6 years. Come celebrate Lola's birthday with us. She misses you. I'm busy, Ethan said coldly. Serafina watched them and felt like she was watching her past self. But now, she felt nothing. Mommy, come dance with Daddy Julian, Maddie called. The party was a blast. Later, Julian said, Maddie, Ethan has been standing in the rain outside for 5 hours. He had another surgery recently and he's not well. Do you want to see him? No, Maddie said firmly. When the party ended, they found Ethan at the door. He looked pale and had lost a lot of weight. Maddie, I climbed 3,000 steps to the temple to get this protective amulet for you. It's very powerful, he whispered. It saved me when I was a kid. Please take it. It will keep you safe. I don't want it, Maddie snapped. You should be resting, not trying to guilt-trip me. I'm not guilt-tripping you, it's special, Ethan pleaded. You've always been sickly. You need a guardian. Please, for me, Serafina stepped in. She said no, Ethan, stop bothering us. She accidentally knocked the amulet out of his hand. It rolled into the street and was blown away by the wind. Ethan didn't hesitate. He ran into the middle of traffic to get it. Ethan, stop, Serafina screamed as a truck barreled toward him. Get out of the way, a sickening thud echoed through the street. Serafina ran toward Ethan, who was pinned under the truck. Ethan, can you hear me? Answer me, sir, are you okay? Maddie ran over and peered under the truck. Give me your hand, I'm okay, Ethan groaned. He crawled out from under the chassis, his white shirt torn and bloody. His face was badly scratched. He held up the amulet, smiling like he'd won a war. See, Maddie, I got it. It'll keep you safe, take it. Maddie scowled. You shouldn't have done that, it was dangerous. Ethan, you're insane, Serafina gasped, wiping sweat from her forehead. You were inches from the wheels if the driver hadn't braked. How are we supposed to explain this to your mother? What about the news? You just keep making things harder for us, Ethan looked down. I'm sorry. I just wanted to give her the gift. But it's a burden for her, Serafina snapped. Stop doing things for us, we just want to move on. You weren't a father then, you don't need to be one now. Maddie has a daddy, Ethan pulled back the amulet. Maddie, don't feel burdened. I did it because I wanted to. Maddie didn't say anything. She handed him a tissue. Ethan was shocked and overjoyed. Thank you, sweetheart. I'll be fine. Go home and rest. I don't like you constantly interfering in my life, Maddie said coldly. Sir, you'll find a new wife and another daughter someday. Please just leave us alone. Leave you alone? Ethan looked devastated. Is there no chance at all, after everything I've tried? Maddie didn't answer. Mommy, have someone take him to the hospital. Let's go. In the car, Julian held Maddie. I'll buy you a new music box to cheer you up, okay? Yes, I'll dance for you, Maddie hugged him. Ethan watched them from the sidewalk and sobbed. Once, Maddie had danced for him. She had wanted to share her world with him, but he had ignored her. He had let her be bullied. He had broken her heart over and over again. Now, he was desperate to fix it, and she wouldn't even look at him. But he wouldn't stop. He had to find a way. Ethan's stunt had terrified Maddie. She had a high fever that night, and Serafina stayed by her side until morning. Luckily, it didn't turn into pneumonia. Serafina called Alina Sterling again, demanding that Ethan stay away. I'll handle it, the older woman promised. The next day, the news reported that Ethan was being sent to a hospital in London for a 3-year exchange program. Serafina told Maddie, who looked relieved. Mommy, can we go to the amusement park after my dance class? Anywhere you want, Serafina smiled. Life without Ethan was peaceful and happy. They visited every landmark and ate at every famous restaurant in the city. Serafina's insomnia vanished, and Maddie smiled all the time. Soon, it was time for the dance competition. They arrived at the auditorium and saw Fiona and Lola, both looking miserable. Serafina ignored them. Suddenly, she heard Lola bragging. Look, Daddy Ethan sent me a beautiful pearl bag, he's forgiven me, I'm still his princess. The other kids gathered around. Wow, he really does love her. The competition hasn't even started and she already has a prize. Their house is like a castle. Lola is so lucky. Mommy, I don't care about her bag, Maddie said, touching her necklace. Daddy Julian gave me his lucky necklace. I'm going to win, Serafina smiled. While Maddie was getting ready, Serafina went to the restroom and saw Lola running toward a man. Daddy Ethan, you're back, thank you for the bag. What bag? Ethan frowned, pulling away. This one, Fiona said, smiling. The package was addressed to Lola. Ethan glared at his assistant. Fiona, I made that bag for Maddie. It's not for your daughter, give it back. The crowd gasped. He made it himself, wow. Maddie should just take it. He's going to run out of patience eventually. He used to love Lola so much. If she hadn't been so cruel to Maddie, she'd still be his favorite. What a waste. Daddy Ethan, I love it so much, can I keep it? Lola sobbed. I'll be good, I promise, don't take it away. I'm not your daddy, Ethan said coldly. Give it back. Now, Ethan, you're embarrassing her in public, Fiona cried. Just this once, no, Ethan said. 1, 2. Sir, I don't want your gift, Maddie said, standing up. Are you here to ruin my big day on purpose? Ethan's face fell. He turned to Lola. Even if she doesn't want it, you don't deserve it. Give it back. Before Serafina could intervene, Lola threw the bag at Ethan and ran out, sobbing. A moment later, a scream echoed through the hall. Someone call an ambulance, my daughter fell, she can't move her legs. Serafina ran over to find Lola on the floor, her arms limp, blood staining her white tutu. Fiona was hysterical. She glared at Serafina. If anything happens to her, I'll make you pay. Fiona carried her daughter to an ambulance. Serafina, don't worry. I'll make sure she gets the best care, Ethan said, trying to comfort her. But she blames us, Serafina snapped. If you hadn't shown up, none of this would have happened. Why couldn't you just stay in London? She pushed his hand away. I don't want to see you, just go. Dr. Sterling, please leave them alone, Julian said. This competition is important to Maddie, don't distract her. Ethan backed away to the door. I'll stay out here. Serafina went back to her seat and filmed Maddie's performance. Maddie was breathtaking. She was the star of the show. She's amazing, Serafina whispered to Julian. She is, Julian agreed. When the winner was announced, Maddie took the top prize. She waved her trophy at them, beaming. I did it, I finally did it. Now, let's hear from our winner, the host said. Maddie took the microphone. I've always wanted to dance for my parents and show them my best self. I finally did it today. But I have one more wish. I hope by this time next year, I'll have a little sister to hold. The crowd laughed and looked at Serafina, who blushed. Maddie, stop saying that in public. Don't worry, Maddie. We'll work on it, Julian laughed, taking Serafina's hand. The crowd cheered. Ethan watched from the door, his heart aching. That should have been him up there. He had been so close to happiness, and he had thrown it away. Now, he was just an outsider, but he wouldn't give up. Not yet. The show ended and Serafina led Maddie out. Ethan was gone. They got in the car, but halfway home, a figure jumped into the street. Julian slammed on the brakes. Serafina, it's Fiona, stay here. Mommy, I heard Lola is paralyzed, Maddie said softly. Will she ever walk again? I don't know, honey, Serafina said, but it's not your fault. It's Ethan's. But her mom looked so scary, Maddie whispered. I want to go back to France. I'm scared something will happen to you. I'll be right back, Serafina said. She got out and called the police. As the officers took Fiona away, she screamed, Serafina dancing was the only thing Lola had, and now it's gone because of your daughter. I'll get you for this, just wait. Go find Ethan if you want someone to blame, Serafina said, getting back in the car. Julian, let's go back to France as soon as the wedding is over, she said, her voice tired. Fiona is dangerous. Don't worry. Ethan said he'd keep an eye on her, Julian said. I hope so, Serafina sighed. The next few days were quiet. Serafina and Maddie went to the supermarket to buy souvenirs for their friends in France. While they were shopping, a little boy ran up to Serafina, crying. Ma'am, have you seen my mommy? I can't find her. Serafina decided to take him to the service desk. Maddie, wait for me at aisle 19. I'll be right back. Okay, Mommy, I have my watch, Maddie smiled. Serafina hurried back after dropping off the boy. Suddenly, a crowd of panicked shoppers ran past her. A crazy woman is stabbing a little girl. There's so much blood she's not going to make it. Serafina's world went white. She ran toward aisle 19 and saw Fiona sitting on top of Maddie, a knife in her hand. Maddie was lying in a pool of blood. Serafina threw Fiona off and scooped up her daughter. Maddie, open your eyes, please. Hold on. Mommy, it hurts. Maddie's arm went limp. Your daughter is dying. Fiona laughed hysterically. She made my Lola a paraplegic, so now she pays with her life. Maddie was rushed into surgery. Serafina sat outside, trembling. Julian arrived, looking frantic. What happened? How did Fiona find her? I was distracted. I was only gone for 10 minutes, Serafina sobbed. It's all my fault. Ethan arrived, drenched in sweat. Where is she? Is she okay? Fiona stabbed her in the heart, Serafina screamed. She might not make it, and it's because you didn't watch Fiona like you said you would. I'll save her. Serafina, I'll get the best doctors, Ethan cried. The surgeon walked out, looking grim. The damage to her heart is too severe. She needs a transplant immediately. Fortunately, she's old enough to accept an adult heart, but we need a donor now, preferably a blood relative. Take mine, Serafina said instantly. I don't care about anything else. Just save her, you'll die, Serafina, Ethan shouted. I won't let you. Then what should I do? She screamed. She's only 8 years old. Take mine, Ethan said firmly. I've failed her too many times. Let me do this one thing right. And your mother, the Sterling legacy? Serafina snapped. Be realistic. Ethan, Dr. Sterling, Assistant Lewis ran over. The International Hospital has a heart from a brain-dead donor. It's a perfect match. But the director wants to buy Sterling Memorial for a fraction of its value in exchange. Done, Ethan said without hesitation. Tell him to send the heart now. The other director arrived with the documents. You're giving up your entire legacy for a chance at saving her? You might lose everything for nothing. I don't care, Ethan said, signing the papers. Just save her. Serafina looked at him. He was trading everything he had ever worked for. Do you regret it, Ethan? The hospital was your life. No, Ethan whispered. Maddie is my life, I've just been too blind to see it. I'd give my life for her, Serafina, I mean it. Serafina didn't say anything. Ethan had finally become the father Maddie had always wanted, but it might be too late. 3 days later, Maddie finally woke up. Serafina cried with relief as she held her. Julian brought a bouquet of gardenias. Welcome back, Maddie. Maddie smiled and took the flowers. Then she looked toward the window. Is Mr. Sterling here? I was always annoyed when he was here, but now it's weird that he isn't. I'm here, Ethan said, waving from the window. I didn't want to make you mad, so I stayed outside. How do you feel? Does it hurt? It doesn't hurt until I see you, Maddie said coldly. Just go away. Ethan placed a music box on the windowsill. Eat well, sleep well, goodbye. After he left, Serafina told Maddie how Ethan had saved her by giving up the hospital. Maddie was silent for a long time. He loved that hospital more than anything. Why did he do it? He said he didn't regret it, Serafina said. I'll pay him back for you. I want to do it myself, Maddie said. A week later, Maddie was discharged. They were going back to France. At the airport, Maddie called Ethan. Sir, come to the airport. I have a gift for you. Ethan arrived minutes later, looking overjoyed. Maddie, I'm so glad you wanted to see me. Are you feeling better? I'm fine, sir. Maddie handed him a clay lion she had made. I made this for you. I hope you're happy. Ethan's hands shook as he took it. He held out the protective amulet. Maddie, please, take this. I just want you to be safe. Maddie hesitated, then took it and put it in her bag. Goodbye, sir. As they walked toward the gate, Ethan called out, Can I visit you in France? No, Maddie. Can you call me Daddy just once? Maddie stopped. She thought of the amulet, the dance studio, the flower petals, and the curry he had tried to make for her. She thought of his tearful face. She turned around. Just once. Thank you for saving me. Goodbye, Daddy. She turned and walked away. Maybe in another life they could have been a real family, but in this one it was time to say goodbye.